Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Intelligent Training Holistic Health. We are your hosts, James and Francesca, and today's episode is quite fitting. It's about comfort zones. So doing this podcast is us getting out of our comfort zone. So we felt it is probably a good place to start with our first episode on comfort zones. What do you think, Franny?
Definitely. We did our first episode last week and it was definitely
horrible.
It was horrible. It was, because it is something that we're not used to doing at the moment. And I can't wait until we are so many episodes in that it starts to feel quite natural.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something we haven't done before. So it's getting out of our comfort zone, which is good. Which is why we thought it would be really fitting now to do this podcast today and talk about comfort zone and that in relation to training.
Relation to training, relation to a bit of nutrition, just everything in general, because life, as corny as it sounds, life does start on the outside of your comfort zone.
It so does. And we have this conversation all the time. We love a walk and a talk. When we take the dog out, don't we? We love it.
If we could carry this microphone with us, we would have way better podcasts. But unfortunately, we can't.
Because all the greatest things come when you are out on a walk, and it's one of our favourite things to do. So we always go out and try and put the worlds to rights, don't we?
And we do. We do a good job.
We do a good job. If only you knew. But today we wanted to talk to you about comfort zone. And for a start,
what is it?
What is it?
What is a comfort zone? So a comfort zone, I would say, is, in fancy fitness terms, I would say it's homeostasis. So it's balance, where the body wants to be. Yeah. So the body is very tightly regulated through so many different hormones and enzymes and chemicals that keep us in a state of balance. And once we try and go out of that state, then that's where the body starts to freak out. So I think probably from more of an evolutionary perspective, we feel safer if we're in the cave. We feel safer staying in the cave because nothing's going to come and eat us if we step out of the cave. Something might come and eat us, and that's how we still feel now. So doing anything that we feel may bring the body a little bit stress, then that's where we start feeling a little bit of discomfort.
We've all individually created our own little circuits, haven't we? Of behaviors and habits that we do, and once we're there and we're in them, it's really, really hard to break them, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you end up, even if you know that this particular habit that you're doing is not serving you for the greater good, it doesn't matter. And it's not lack of motivation or desire to want to change. It's the habit that is just, it's that comfort zone, isn't it?
It's comfortable. Keep doing what you know.
Yeah, even if it's bad for you, it's comfortable.
Yeah, so your body will do this at the detriment of its own health.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous. So doing small things to expand your comfort zone can be a huge thing, and we'll get into that like a little bit later on.
Yeah, which is why something we do with clients is I don't know, small little things that you can do every day, and people think, well, that's not much, I could probably do that. That doesn't seem to me like it would be enough to change. And people get stuck on the end goal of the huge change, and they don't realize that all their little habits that they've got to get them to this place they're in now are the same things that they need to incrementally change in order to get them to their new goal.
100%. Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. So another thing is, last year I did a lot of therapy, a lot of group therapy, and a lot of it was based around kind of Carl Jung's work and with the inner critic. So that voice inside your head that just tells you, no, don't do this, or just beats you down all the time and tells you shouldn't be doing certain things. When you try and step out of your comfort zone, this is when that inner critic will step up. That's what Joe Rogan calls the inner bitch. Apologies for language. But yeah, so the inner wimp inside you will always be in the back of your head telling you not to step out of your comfort zone. So for example, getting up this morning, I wanted so badly just to lie in bed. The inner wimp was like, oh, it's very comfy in here. It's very warm in here, James. I was so close to staying in bed, but you have to keep trying to override that discomfort. And but we'll go for a few things later. So if you can do these small tasks to keep trying to expand your comfort zone, they can they'll compound, and they'll just really help you grow your comfort zone, and it just becomes so much easier.
It's the same as when you start, perhaps you go to the gym a few times, and without even thinking about it, because you've been to the gym a few times that week and you feel better about yourself, you automatically start to change other behaviors. Perhaps you'll eat a little bit better than you usually would, because you're already on that train and you're feeling good about yourself, and you automatically make healthier choices. It's the same as you this morning not snoozing your alarm, getting up. You've already done one thing right there in the morning that has made you feel accomplished. And it might seem really small and really trivial to people, but it makes a huge difference to the rest of the actions that morning and further throughout your day.
And that's one of the first things I say, especially with clients, is do not snooze your alarm, because you're setting a goal. So basically you're setting a goal for the beginning of the day to get up, whatever time it is, say 6 a.m. You've set a goal at 6 a.m. So if you snooze that alarm, it's going to give you 10 minutes of sleep. People say, oh, it's a bonus 10 minutes. It's not bonus 10 minutes. That's nonsense. So I nearly swore. But that's not bonus. That's nonsense. You are basically giving up on your first goal of the day. So you just gotta just get out of the bed, just quieten the inner wimp, and just get out of the bed, and you feel so much better for when you do. I know when I've snoozed my alarm, and I've snoozed it to a point where I've laid in bed for another hour, I'm so angry at myself when I wake up.
And it is tired.
And you're more tired, because you're not going to get back into that deep sleep. So you're not going to go through the cycles to get back into the deeper or the REM sleep.
No.
So it's crap sleep. And so that is one of the things. So we're jumping a bit ahead of ourselves, but that is one of the things. But because we're into health and fitness. So health and fitness has become, it's easy for us though. But it's easy for us because now it's so within our comfort zone. But whereas when we jump onto clients, at the beginning when I first started training clients, I couldn't understand why they couldn't, start going to the gym or start eating healthily.
Yeah, and we're also, just as when we started training clients, we were in our very early 20s, and we'd already previously, we loved the gym and we loved training, and another story another time, but we were major into bodybuilding, weren't we? Still love a bit of it now, but that's how we kind of got right into fitness anyway. And so we were already looking probably at the more extreme levels of discipline and regime, and so for us, that's why it did come a little bit easier, because we went straight into that. So then when you're in your early 20s and you're first starting to train clients, that's why you can't always understand. That's why it takes time to learn, because we didn't understand back then, well, how can you not do this? It's so easy for us.
But then that's what I was gonna say, because now we run our own businesses. Now we are run our own business. Like, business is something that is tougher for us, and we have to step out of our comfort zones. But whereas clients would find that so much easier. So everybody has their own comforts and discomforts.
They got their strengths and weaknesses.
Everyone has their strengths, everyone has their weaknesses, but it's just trying to just do small things each day to expand the general feeling of discomfort. So if you can get comfortable being uncomfortable, it just helps in so many different facets through your life.
And it's the same now that we do run our own business, and it's hard and it's grueling, and you're sat at the computer for hours on end, and you know that you need to go to the gym, and we know more than anyone we need to get to the gym, and sometimes we've decided, no, we won't go to the gym today, I'm feeling a little sluggish, I'm feeling a little tired, and that's us not stepping out of our comfort zone. Even though we're used to going to the gym, that's us going, oh, I'm comfortable here, I'll just stay here and I'll just carry on, even though I'm probably not being that productive really. And I probably need the break. But instead we sit in that comfort zone because we go, oh God, I can't imagine right now thinking about pushing myself in the gym. And you don't go to the gym. It's when nobody's immune to those feelings and decisions. But it's just about, okay, do I have a hack? What's my mental state? Can I ask myself, am I really tired, or am I just thinking that way? And how can I now just go and step out? And even if that is, well, I'm not feeling up to going to the gym, but I'll go for a walk. Well, that's first step of a little bit out of your comfort zone. Or can I just go in the gym and do 20 minutes instead of my maybe pre-planned session that I had.
Yeah. And that's a brilliant way to start. A lot of clients that are complete beginners is start very little and often, because going into the gym is daunting enough. But if you're going in there for an hour, then that can be too much. So it's just trying to do little bits.
I don't really understand. Like, I understand an hour's a good amount of time as well, you know, if you're warming up or whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think everyone gets fixated on, I have to be in there for an hour, otherwise it's not a gym session.
Yeah, that's just an arbitrary number.
Exactly. That's
called out. Yeah.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is, don't ever feel defeated or that you're not doing enough. If you go and you turn up for 20 minutes, as long as you've got a plan and as long as you are pushing out of your comfort zone, then everything counts and everything's going to build up incrementally to the bigger goal. You don't have to go, well, you know what, I haven't got an hour, so I won't do anything.
So this will go on to one of the ways that we try and help expand people's comfort zones. One of them is, do not miss 2 workouts in a row.
That's a good one.
So missing 1 workout, that's fine. Life gets in the way. But when you miss 2, then that's where things can start going downhill.
Absolutely.
So that's the same thing. So if you don't have the full hour, or you don't have 45 minutes to get in the gym, 20 minutes is still fine. And that's still going to tick that off the list.
Yeah.
So that is a brilliant way to keep the comfort zone expanded. And the comfort zone can 100% shrink as well. So you probably feel this after a holiday, after things like Christmas. If you're on holiday, you've got Christmas, people aren't training, people are eating whatever they want. Christmas food's amazing, so don't blame you.
So excited about Christmas.
Yeah, so eat everything. No one's training, and the comfort zone will start to shrink. And then things that used to be, were just outside your comfort zone, feel a mile away.
Yeah.
Now going to the gym's like, and then, so this is when we used to be in-person personal trainers around, so everyone will come back to work after New Year's. Or around Christmas, but the rate they would come back to the gym would be like, I'll do 1 session, or I'll push it another 2 weeks. That's just because your comfort zone has just shrank a little bit. So if you can keep doing things around like Christmas or around holidays to keep that comfort zone expanded, then that's another really beneficial way to look at it.
Do you know what? That's why I really like a bit of I love a diary. I love a handheld diary, and I love putting all my tasks in my diary day to day.
Even though we've got iPhones.
Yeah, but it's annoying on the iPhone because I don't want to be on a device at the best of times all the time. And having it handheld and actually physically writing it out just feels like I'm way more committed to the tasks. And I love that feeling of literally ticking it off with your hands. That dopamine hit is brilliant. Love it. But if you have your workouts scheduled in your diary, that's another great way to make sure that you get them in, and also to make sure that you're never missing more than 2 in a row. Because if you do 2 in a row and then you have a day off, then the day after that day off, mentally it can be really hard to then go, I'm going to go back to the gym today, because already you've had that day off. You go, well, I'm still feeling a little bit sore here and there, or I'm just like, I'm a little bit tired.
That's the inner critic coming in and talks you out of it.
Absolutely. I hate my bloody inner critic.
Oh yeah,
that's why all the time.
So you got to tame it. You got to learn to tame it, like a lion tamer. Tame that inner critic. And then another thing, when you're actually in the gym, how hard you push yourself in the gym. This is a big one. So if you can audit yourself within the gym. So if you're new to the gym, then you are literally going to get gains from pretty much anything, because your body is so new to it. So any kind of stimulus you throw at your body will adapt to that stimulus. But once you've been in the gym for a while and things start slowing down, usually the reason is because you are not pushing yourself hard enough. So this is what it usually comes down to. So another test I like to do with clients is, if you sit on a fixed machine that is, so for example, a leg extension machine, put the weight you would normally do 10 reps on, and then I'll get them to go until they physically can't do anymore. And a lot of the time clients will double the amount of reps they can do. So from a muscle building perspective or strength building perspective, you need to be getting close to failure when you train. So really the last maybe 3-4 potentially 5 reps of a set is where the stimulus to drive the adaptation will come from. So if you could hit 20 reps on that set that you're only doing 10 reps on, then you're not producing enough of a stimulus to adapt. And this is why you see so many people in the gym that have been in there for years and years and years and do not change.
Yeah.
This is because they are staying within their comfort zone when it comes to training.
Yeah. And that also, that doesn't mean visually change necessarily. That is you think we as trainers have worked with a lot of clients, and majority of clients coming in and go, I want to lose weight, I want to tone up, I want to and they want that physical change. But it's also about people that you see in the gym year on year who have not changed in any way, shape or form in strength or anything either.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Their mobility is no better, their strength is no better. Yeah. They're just lifting the same weights, and it's not about changing exercises. Well, again, another podcast, a subject for another time about training and actual exercises to training. But you see the people, they do the same thing and they have the same weights on. Full disclosure as well, if I haven't got myself a training plan personally, I'm exactly the same. When no matter how long you've been training, he's laughing now, and how good you are not immune to it. James the other day did this exact exercise with me. We were training in the gym together.
Yeah. I knew this podcast was coming, and I knew I was going to talk about this. And every time I'm in the gym, Franny is in there, and she'll pick a similar set of weights up. Not all the time, but sometimes, and she'll do the similar sort of reps. And I look at her, she's so strong and she can do so much. And I'll look at her and be like, "You are not pushing hard enough." So then I'll just switch out maybe the 15 she's using for like a 22. And she would do easily the same reps, easily perfect technique.
All right, yeah. So I was rowing the other day, and I was rowing with a 15 kilo.
Yeah.
Yes, it's comfortable and it's fine. And I was just in my la land, thinking about other things, which isn't good. And
it can be good.
Yeah, it can be.
But then that's another thing. So if you enjoy just going into the gym, maybe it's a bit of a stress relief. You just enjoy it. Then by no means you don't have to push yourself or whoop yourself every time you go in the gym. But if your goal is to gain muscle, to change your body, to build strength, then this is where you do need to push that comfort zone, and you do need to get into those reps closer to failure. Yeah.
And I've been asking James to write me a program for a while now.
And that's out of my comfort zone because she
doesn't pay for it. Doesn't pay for it.
She does pay for it.
Because I'm your wife.
Yeah, no.
No.
I will do it.
No, it's because I think it's the same. I can write myself a program, but it's boring writing my own program. I need the accountability from somebody else. Yeah. I want someone else to write me a program. And who else am I going to ask but the best coach in the world? Of course, it's my husband. Of course, I'm going to ask him to write me the program. It's the ultimate program. But I appreciate he's also a very busy man. And I am very, very low on the list.
No, you're not at all.
No, thanks. So yeah, but that is the truth. So I think the first thing you have to think about when you're thinking about comfort zone, and it doesn't have to be necessarily training orientated. Obviously, we are going to talk a lot about training, but
it's the name.
Yeah, it's but it's everything. So you've got to ask yourself, honestly, am I in my comfort zone for a lot of things? What are the things that I want to change? Yeah. And then you can start to look. So if you're looking at the moment at your gym program, if you have a gym plan and a training plan and you look at it, and hopefully if you're following a training plan, you're writing down your rep ranges and your weights every week, whatever it is you're monitoring on your plan. And can you honestly say that you are pushing yourself close to that failure with...
Yeah, or increasing reps.
Or that, yeah.
Yeah, so one caveat with this, when it does come to training, a lot of people do increase reps, so that's good because they're getting closer to failure, but you need to try and standardize your reps. So this is something I've been doing a lot with clients, is making sure every rep looks exactly the same. Because, for example, if you're doing bench press and you're doing 10 reps one week, the next week's 11, the next is 12, you're going up like this. But on the 11th rep, you're only coming halfway down. On the 12th rep, you're coming 3/4 of the way down. Then that is not a progression. No. You need to standardize your reps and make sure everyone looks the same. and then you can start progressing from there.
Yeah.
Cool. So that's another way to look at it. But you do need to get into those reps closer to failure to create the stimulus for your body to adapt.
Which is why I think with coming out of your comfort zone in the gym, even if you're not following a plan, but you go in and you use the gym yourself and you feel like, oh, I'm really not progressing, simply, why don't you try going, I don't know, to a class or something? Even in a class, people tend to
push themselves a bit more.
Themselves a bit more. And it's a good way to test yourself and go, okay, you know, I'm around other people. People tend to get a little bit competitive, or they don't want to be the worst in the class or whatever it is, even though nobody's watching you.
Yeah.
But that's just our mentality, isn't it? Yeah. So even try a class. I mean, stepping into the gym is a huge discomfort for many people anyway. So I always say, and because I work with quite a lot of beginners to weight training, even just going in the gym and starting off by just stepping in the gym and going on a machine you're comfortable with, even if it is over to the cardio, just to start with, just so you get used to being in that environment and you've stepped in the gym that day and that's a tick. And then maybe the next day you go, okay, I stepped in the gym, that wasn't so bad actually, everything's fine. I'm going to go over to the little dumbbell area there and I'm just going to follow this little plan. I'm just going to do a few, sets on the dumbbells and do some, like a little full body or something, just in the corner out of the way. Yeah. And then that's step 2. You've increased your comfort zone a little bit more. Yeah,
that's it. And then like I said, for the people that are a bit more advanced, then this is where you need to get into the more closer to failure kind of reps.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it all depends where you are on the spectrum. If you're a complete beginner, then your body will adapt to pretty much anything. So it's called newbie gains. And then as you progress along, then this is where you have to get a little bit more. This is where your programming has to become a little bit more specific to you, and you have to start pushing closer to failure. So that was just one thing I would say, is just audit your program. If you're like Franny, you're a bit more of a beginner, then it doesn't matter too much. But if you're a bit more, if you're like these clients, so she's still left in 15, she's a beginner. But if you if you are a bit more advanced, then you just audit yourself and just take a set to absolute failure, because a lot of people don't know what absolute failure is or what your body is actually capable of. So even I'll do this myself, and you'll be surprised at how much more is in the tank. Yeah. So this is where you really need to push to if you want to really change.
It's a mental game.
It is a mental game.
I think for people as well, because of the internet, there's a lot of things where when we're talking about getting out of your comfort zone and we're talking about training to failure, I'm sure there's lots of people that go, oh, well, should I train to failure all the time? What about my recovery?
Yeah. This is the inner wimp becoming the outer wimp.
Yeah.
People that say this. No. This is but it's true. But now, because not gonna say mental health, but a lot of people have got very soft in ways they train and the ways they look at nutrition, for example.
We fly from
the pendulum swings just from one side to the other.
Yeah, I think that's what happens in the fitness industry and probably on all topics in general. But we go from one extreme to the other, and I think, and it's great to have awareness and make sure people are recovering from their training and they're not slamming themselves into the ground when they're not nutritionally supporting themselves and all the other stresses and strains of life. But I think what we've lost is now the ability to find our discomfort, like you said, and know, do we know what failure feels like, or are we going to that mental failure when actually our body could do probably double the reps, as James has said, he finds all the time, and he did it with me the other day, and I 100% went double the reps.
That's for sure, 100%. It's so true.
And so that then I myself have been sticking in my comfort zone. When you know what kind of weights you usually do, you start there and you kind of end up staying there. Yeah. And you don't push yourself further. So another great thing to either is to get a coach or to have a gym buddy. Yeah. And you both
meet some friends at the gym.
Yeah. And push yourself out of your comfort zones a little bit. Have somebody there cheering you on. Have somebody telling you can do a couple more reps and then a couple more.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you want to expand your comfort zone, do not snooze your alarm.
No.
Push reps to failure or audit your program and take a couple of your sets to absolute failure just to see what you are capable of. And then that's going to be a bit more of your new norm. That's where you want to stick around, get around those rep ranges. Number 3.
Well, we were talking earlier as well, because it is such a mental game and it's a good thing to play with. We were talking about cold water immersion.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So this is a brilliant one as well. So there's a lot of good research on cold water immersion for a lot of things. But I think the best thing cold water immersion does, so this cold water immersion is, so for example, cold showers, ice baths, can be cryotherapy. But I think the best thing this does for people is mental resilience. So it's not comfortable. So if you've sat in an ice bath, you know it is not comfortable. So this is one thing that I'll try and do. I try and do it weekly, but it doesn't often happen. But if you can get in there and you just really push out your comfort zone, then this is when I always feel best. And when I used to do cold showers in the morning as well, you used to do the same, didn't you?
Yeah, loved it.
And so you wake up, no alarm, or just don't snooze your alarm, get in the cold shower, and your comfort zone is just gone.
Yeah.
And it's just got way bigger.
You
used to love it, didn't you?
I used to love it because when I first started it, I obviously had the shower on cold, but it wasn't on its coldest because you can't just go from one extreme to the other. And I call myself a lizard. Yeah,
she is a lizard.
Because I love the heat.
If any of your clients are listening, or even my clients who used to see you in the gym, my clients used to laugh at Franny in the gym because she'd be like four or 5 layers deep, full of hoodies.
I'd have on like
under layers.
Yeah, I
everything.
Love it. I'm always cold. I hate the cold. Don't like it at all. Get me in a hot country. Get me on a rock with the sun shining on me, and I'll bask in all the sunshine.
She'll soak it up.
Yeah, I just don't like the cold at all. So I'd always be around the gym floor, and I'd have 2 hoodies on, and then I'd have some kind of like vest
t-shirt
and a t-shirt. Yeah, I'd have everything, and one pair of leggings. Literally, I looked huge on top, didn't I? And then my little leggings.
One of my clients would say, "Oh my god, it must be warm. Franny's only got 1 hoodie on."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's midsummer.
It is, yeah. Oh.
But anyway, we digress.
Anyway, so I started with warm-ish shower to a little bit colder until it was in the height of winter, and I had it on the coldest it could go.
Yeah.
And it's great as well because you have to regulate your breathing.
Yeah.
So you start to focus in on your breath. You can't think of anything else because you are fully immersed in cold water. It wakes you up like nothing else.
Yeah.
And then you have to start controlling your breathing as you're standing underneath it. For me, that was it just made me feel like I was meditating.
Yeah, because it's very mindful, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't think of anything else.
Yeah, so true. That's when I used to skydive. Same thing, because there's nothing else you can think about. So you're literally just
at the task in hand.
That's literally it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a comfort zone thing as well.
Massively.
Yeah, that's a comfort zone. Sit on the edge of a plane 15,000 feet is fairly uncomfortable the first time.
Especially the first time you do it.
Third time.
When you're on your own.
Yeah.
Without anyone attached to you. Right.
Yeah. And that was still uncomfortable.
Yeah.
First 30 times was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But then you got to keep pushing through it, and then it starts becoming more and more comfortable. As comfortable as jumping out of a plane can be.
Yeah.
So it does become more comfortable.
And that's the same with cold water.
Yeah, so cold water motion is exactly the same.
Yeah, and you wouldn't, for me, especially me as well, who loves heat, I wouldn't think that in the height of winter, when you get out of bed and you're already cold because you've been snugly in your duvet, that then you can stand under a freezing cold shower.
Yeah.
And just stand there and let it fall.
Yeah.
Without.
It's brilliant. It's such a good way to. It's definitely one of the best ways to begin pushing your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So easy. Everyone has a shower. It's a brilliant thing to do in the morning. It's brilliant for your health. So it is one of the best things. It's something I do recommend quite a lot. Is a cold water immersion, especially showers, because showers, it's not going to stimulate it's not going to create enough of a stimulus for crazy health benefits. But the main one from a shower would be the mental resilience.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. That's what we're going for, to expand your comfort zone.
Absolutely. So going back over.
Don't snooze your alarm.
Don't skip your workouts.
Oh yeah, Don't skip more than 2 workouts in a row. I think that's a big one as well. I like implementing that with clients.
Yeah.
Because one, obviously, life gets in the way. 2, there's no excuse to do 2.
No.
There might be, but there shouldn't be. But so my busiest clients, very busy people, but they still manage to find time to get the workouts in.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I'm super busy, I know these guys, they're way busier than what I am. So this is why I'm like, no, get to the gym. You've put it in your diary. You have to do it.
Yeah.
So just get it done. So just try and quieten the inner critic from that. So that's going to be the biggest thing as well. It's just trying to quieten the inner critic, because it will pop up and it will try and keep you in bed, and it will try and stop you from going to the gym. But if you have specific goals, if you have goals within the gym where you want to lose weight, you want to gain muscle, whatever it is, then you need to start quietening that inner critic.
Mm-hmm.
And it is going to be uncomfortable. So this is why it is pushing you out of your comfort zone. But anything that you have done that you've really enjoyed, that you have felt accomplished from, I'm sure you have pushed yourself outside your comfort zone to do it.
Absolutely. I'm sure at some point, there would have been a step through that.
It's not comfortable. All the best things I've done have been the most uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
It's always uncomfortable to start with, but then once you keep pushing, and then you do it, then it just feels the best.
Yeah.
Because you know how uncomfortable it was. And it's even like doing this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I hate doing it because I've been doing webinars recently for big companies, and I hate speaking on camera.
Yeah.
I despise doing this, ladies and gentlemen. But hopefully it's going to get easier and easier.
Yeah.
But this is such a discomfort for me. We have spoke about this podcast for over a year.
Oh, well,
and
over
since
a year.
being here, we've spoke about, let's do it this week. Okay, no, let's do it this next week. Let's do it the next week. And we have pushed this and pushed this and
Case
pushed
in
this.
point.
Yes. Yeah, so our inner critic, or my inner critic at least,
mine too,
both of us just was like, no, don't do it. You could sound like an idiot. Whatever it is. But now we're doing it, and even though we do sound like idiots, it doesn't matter because we're doing it. You sound lovely.
I do sound like an idiot. I've named my inner critic Chatty Cathy.
Oh, mine was Klaus.
Was it?
I had to call it. Oh, right. So when I was doing the therapy, I had to come up with a name for it, and I called it Klaus.
Oh, because James always right. So I'm quite a quiet person.
Yeah, until she's with me, ladies and gentlemen, and she will not stop talking.
In social settings, I'm pretty quiet. Meeting new people, I'm quite shy, and that's another, comfort zone. Is I stay quiet because
it's like our own therapy session.
It really is. This is please help us. No, I do. I stay quiet a lot of the time, and it's been to the detriment of things career-wise as well, because I've stayed quite shy and quite quiet and not put myself out there that much, because actually I'm just afraid of what other people will think of me. Same as doing this podcast. I have a huge fear of, well, the internet can be a horrible place, can't it? It can be a mean place, and I have a huge fear, I'm sure like everybody does, that people are just going to be mean for the sake of being mean.
So feel free to write a mean comment, because that'd be hilarious.
So here is the thing, is because I've spoken about a podcast, James has spoken about one, and we've spoken about doing one together, and we've also spoken about individual ones as well. The great thing about doing one together is you feel like you've got somebody to lean on and have support and go through the same thing with you. And that's why when you're getting out of your comfort zone, it's great to have somebody else there to support you, whether it be a friend who's doing the same thing, or whether it's in the gym and you've got a gym buddy, whatever it is, it's great to have that person to lean on.
Yeah, support network is super important for everything. Hello, Forrest. So yeah, support network is massive. So that can be super helpful. And if you are looking to go to the gym, and you're new to the gym, then getting the people around you, especially family, friends, to try and cheer you on, to push you on.
Yeah,
that's a big thing as well, because a lot of people don't, even for your friends, they don't like change. So if you start changing, you're going to the gym, that can then shine a light on them if they're not going to the gym, and they might start trying to pull you back a little bit. So if you can have an honest conversation with them and be like, look, I'm starting up this new goal, I want to go to the gym, I want to lose X amount of weight, I want to, whatever it is, then that can also be a super helpful thing to do. So that, again, that will be pushing outside your comfort zone again. Just having that conversation could be pushing outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, nobody likes change. Nobody, you go to small towns and, new people come in or new things come in, and you'll always have the group of people that don't like it. And they don't even know what it is. They don't even know anything about it. They just don't like it because it's changed.
It's just different. Yeah,
it's different, and that's
a natural response from the body, because the body wants, like we said at the beginning, it wants homeostasis. It wants to stay balanced.
Yeah.
So it's a natural thing from the body. It doesn't want change, even if it is going to benefit you.
Yeah.
So that's how great. That's how crazy our biology is. Even if your psychology knows there's something that's going to benefit you, it will still prevent you from doing it because it doesn't want to change.
Yeah.
Because it wants to stay in that balance.
So that's why, don't be too hard on yourself. Don't let Chatty Cathy or Klaus or whatever the name of your inner critic is come out. Because mine, I tell you, she's Chatty Cathy for a reason.
Yeah.
She comes out all the time.
Yeah, and then she comes out to me as well when we're walking the dog.
Yeah, she does. She loves it. She has a right good chat to him.
Yeah, she does.
She has a fabulous time. Anyway,
Poor James.
Yeah, poor James. But she needs to be quieted down sometimes. She needs to be popped back in a box. She needs to have a little nap. She needs recovery, So keep them away. Get rid of them.
God. Try and turn them down. Tune them down, people.
Yeah, tune them down. But it is really important. So I would say, write down your goals. Yeah. Write down. Be honest. Maybe make yourself a little list. What is it in my life right now that I want to change that I'm not changing because I'm in my comfort zone?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Super honest with yourself, and then look at little ways you can change it. Again, we've given some ideas today.
Yeah.
Cold shower.
Yeah.
I recommend it.
Yeah. Don't skip 2 sessions. Try and push to failure in your workouts if you can.
Absolutely.
I think that's it.
And speak. Remember to speak.
Don't snooze your alarm.
Don't snooze your alarm. And speak openly to your friends, family, whoever it is around you.
Even those uncomfortable conversations. There's always uncomfortable conversations you have to have, but you're not doing it because it is outside of your comfort zone. So this is one big thing that I did with therapy that really helped me progress a lot of my relationships, was just having those initial uncomfortable conversations. So that can be a big thing. Are you smiling at me?
No, because I've obviously gone through all of I know what you've been going through because I've been alongside the therapy.
Yeah, you've been there for it.
Yeah.
You need something.
I do. Oh, God. We do. I need a lifetime therapy. I do.
But anyway, we hope you have enjoyed the second episode and hopefully you've got something from it. If you do have any topics you would like us to cover, please feel free to put them in the comments. Absolutely. And we'll have a look. Otherwise, we'll see you next week.